Right, so today we are looking at the most revealing date ever. So this couple are going to start off on a blind date, then they're going to get a quick glance of each other, and then they're going to slowly remove all of their clothes until they're butt-ass naked, at which point they have to decide if they want to go on a second date or not. So let's just jump straight into it.
Oh, there it is! Oh my god! Oh my god!
That is such a brutal preview. Even if you're hung like an absolute horse, you know it's going to be blurred and everyone's going to believe the girl. Why would you ever sign up to something like this?
Studies show getting naked in front of strangers lowers social anxiety and creates a more positive body image, but putting yourself completely out there allows you to be more yourself and connect more deeply?
That is an absolutely mental way of starting off a video. Can you imagine at the start of every single one of mine, I just went, right, so, and then just took off my fucking jumper and my t-shirt. I feel like I'd end up with a very niche but very loyal audience. Well, it's got me hooked.
We brought together two strangers who will become more naked physically and emotionally. Will they find love?
Nude love. What a crazy concept. Alright, round one, blind date.
Hi.
Hello.
So this is where all the chemistry will come in, I feel like. Even if you find someone attractive, if you've had a really bad blind date, you'll just want to get out of there. This, I think, is going to set the tone for the entirety of the video.
I'm Katie.
I'm Judah. Or
Nice to meet
Juju,
you.
if you want.
Juju.
Yes.
That's fun. Cool. So you're
Great
very
nickname.
late.
I am very late. Yes, this is true. I was just a bit nervous to come anyway, so I was like...
Oh yeah, I'm very nervous, so you're not the only one.
Ooh, error and not exuding confidence right from the start. Not showing up to a date on time because you were nervous. Feel like he's already lost some points there. I feel like he should have just blamed it on the traffic.
So are you from California?
I am from California. I was born and raised. I lived in Florida for a bit. What about you?
Oh, nice.
The director being called Milky. Especially given she was getting ready to get the milkers out 3 seconds in.
I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
South Carolina,
But
Southern
yeah, I live in San Diego.
San Diego. Same place as Big Ed.
How long was your drive?
It was only 2 hours. It wasn't that bad.
The flip side is very different, where I came late and you came super.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. I'm like that though. I get really bad anxiety with being late.
I don't know how to approach this really, because it's like I don't know. It's like, I don't know you, but I'm gonna get to know you really well.
This guy is an absolute nervous wreck. Is this the first time he's ever been on a date before? It's not that complicated. Just ask her a bunch of questions, find out who she is, figure out who's on the other side. I mean, if he's nervous now, how's he going to feel when he's staring a coochie in the face? This is not the hard bit.
Do you have a hobby that you're really passionate about?
Really passionate about?
Yeah.
I mean, I play video games. Like,
That's your hobby, video games? You make money?
well, hold on. Calm yourself. A hobby doesn't...
Oh, and as well, I feel like I definitely don't approve of girls that judge guys for liking video games. They're fun. It's like a nice way to kick back and relax. Most people in the dating pool as well, like, grew up playing them. And I don't think it's something you ever really truly grow out of. So I don't think it's bad that he says that he plays video games. But when you're asked like what your hobby or passion is, and that's your first answer, I feel like you need to give something more. Like, it's a blind date. You're trying to win this girl over. Even if it's something that you don't like as much as video games, I feel like you've just got to say something that's going to resonate more with them.
For my that's one of my hobbies. I have a few that are just fun. Hobbies to me are meant for pleasure and to relax.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
agree.
Sorry, that was kind of
And
weird.
so, like, to me, video games, it's nostalgic and it brings me back. I get to play with my closest friends, my best friends, my brothers.
That is so true. Guys have always said that, and like talking the little headphone thingies and like really have a great time.
Yeah, I think it's also good the other way to like realize that if that's not your interest, that it's still important to someone else. I'm quite surprised she was, but I'm glad she was open-minded about it.
Can you rate how attracted you are to Juju right now? And Juju, same thing.
6 or 5 out of 10.
Out of 10?
How attracted you are to Katie?
I mean, to be fair, we didn't really get any of him asking her any questions. That was a very quick segment, and I'm sure there was more to it than that. But yeah, the chemistry already is just nowhere to be seen.
In round one, she was judgy and hostile. She mentioned money. When that's like where I believe that we're starting off as, then I'm gonna know what you're gonna want in the future. Like, it's no longer heart to heart.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe she wasn't so open-minded about it to begin with. I think that was why I was saying, like, hobbies are supposed to be things where you can, like, just kick back and have a good time. And it's all about enjoying life. And her kind of asking if he earns money being like, either you're a man and you shouldn't play video games unless it's your job, or you shouldn't be wasting your time doing something you enjoy if you're not earning money from it. Kind of a toxic mindset. This is actually really not a good start.
It's monetary.
How that make you feel about her? Like, what word would you use to describe her?
I mean, you know what word gold digger. That's the kind of thing, when you're only in it for money, then you're not in it for love, and there's no point for that.
I don't think she was asking because she cares about money. I feel like she was saying it more as a dig at men who play video games rather than caring about how much money he makes. But either way, a look's gonna make up for this already. I fear that however she looks, if she doesn't redeem herself personality-wise, he is just not gonna be interested at all. And same the other way around, she did not seem interested in him. Let's see how the first glance goes down.
Let's lower the curtain in 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Hi. Oh my gosh. You have very nice eyes.
Thank you. You have the same exact colored eyes.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
Very nice too. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm nervous.
I'm so nervous.
He's still saying it. Also, her giving him a nice compliment and being like, you have the exact same coloured eyes. Feel like he could have gone with a compliment alongside that, but finally some sort of spark of attraction.
So, I guess last first question.
Please.
What was your longest relationship?
2 years, but it was also like, it's like on and off. It was weird because it was like, it could be around 3 years, but I don't know. When it was like one of those where like you just don't really.
Yeah, you just break up, get back together, kind of like.
Yeah.
Damn.
And you?
2 years has been, 2.5 years has been my longest like continual relationship. Just because you love someone doesn't mean that they're necessarily meant for you, so.
That's true.
That question was really just didn't go down well either. I mean, what do they know about each other now? Surely there are more pressing first questions to ask. Neither of them really cared about the other person's answer.
So you ended up breaking up with him. So
It was mutual.
it's never mutual.
No, it was. It was mutual. I mean, I guess it was more so him actually with me. I guess my eyes started to wander. And he realized that, and he was like, okay, this isn't gonna work. Breakups are so hard.
That's not an ideal thing to hear from someone that you might be looking at getting into a relationship with. To be fair, I guess there's not really much you can do once that starts to happen. And it sounded like she dealt with it in a mature way. But given now all he's thinking is she's a gold digger, and when she's in a relationship, there's a possibility that her eyes could start to wander. Up until this point, this is genuinely the worst first date I've ever seen.
What are your red flags in your opinion that you have? And what are red flags that people have told you have?
Oh, good one.
Does he want to find more out?
I'm not very good at like boundaries. Just like, oh, I want to spend the night alone. Like, I want to do this by myself. I'm like, oh, I want to be with you. Like, not all the time, but a lot of the time I can be a little clingy.
I'm clingy too. I understand that.
So that's something I'm trying to work on.
Yeah, that's not the worst red flag. That could have gone a lot crazier. I mean, if I'm in his position and I'm like, we've got a lot of this date left and I'm still going to see you entirely naked, maybe I want to find out some nice things about you, your passions, interests, what you're looking for, your type, all that kind of stuff. I guess knowing someone's red flags is important, but when you're already not too keen on them, unless you're one of those absolutely nuts people that just loves collecting red flags and like, for some reason, that makes you really into someone, this is just not going to be helping.
Maybe I am a little hot-headed. I kind of like...
She's listing another one.
The Aries,
You start beating them? No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe when I get drunk.
Did she just say that maybe when she gets drunk, she starts beating up her boyfriends?
Maybe when I get drunk.
That is absolutely mental. I mean, he started laughing when she said that she was hot-headed because he seems like the chillest dude ever. Like, I just don't think he's interested in anything like that. I mean, he's a dude who likes to play video games in his spare time. Like, that is largely quite a peaceful and relaxing lifestyle. The chances that he's going to want to bring someone into that life who's hot-headed are slim. But added to the comment she made about maybe when she's drunk, she beats up her partners. Like, it sounded like she was joking, but with like a hint of truth in there. And I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because maybe I'm overthinking it, or maybe she's nervous and she's like, oh, I'll just make a little joke and oh shit, that didn't come out well at all. But these red flags are just piling up.
What are your red flags?
My red flags, anyone that I've loved, I still love. I would say is probably the biggest one.
You still talk to him?
Interesting.
No. Okay.
There was a time where I did.
Like, as in I want to get back together with you, or like...
Yeah, it depends what kind of love, because like, you can have love for someone that you were in love with once and not be in love with them anymore. And that's not really a problem because like, then your partner's not going to have that insecurity of like, oh, they're still in love with them and they're going to like want to get back with them at some point. But I think having love for an ex, especially if it ended amicably, isn't that bad of a red flag?
Yes, but in a it's yes, but it's more of, I think, a validation thing.
Like you want to be the one that got away.
Well, I usually am, but when...
Nice.
No,
Fair
I'm just
enough.
kidding.
Oh, that's all it went. I could listen to this for a lot longer because I think we've got a lot of the reactions cut really short there. But yeah, now we're on to attraction ratings after round 2, and I fear they're going to be lower for both of them. Oh, she's still on a 5. A 4 still. Okay, so he wasn't as put off as I thought he would be. And now they're getting topless, fair enough.
Just throw it on the ground?
Yeah, just throw it on the ground.
Okay.
This I feel is slightly more revealing for the woman.
You give it to me?
Like most guys would have a picture without their shirt on their Instagram if they like live somewhere hot or travel a lot. Like this guy lives in what, San Diego did he say? Or California? Like surely there'll just be a beach pic of him somewhere. Much less common the other way around.
3, 2, 1.
His eyes looking straight at her face.
It's okay, you can look at my boobs.
Thank you, but...
I thought he was gonna go for it. I mean like, oh, thank you. And just stare at both of them for the entirety of the round. She just starts going like, so what are you looking for in red? And he's like, shh, 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 shh. I think it was quite nice of her to make him feel, because she could instantly tell that he was feeling really awkward and like, I know that it's the point of this round, but it's like, what are you actually supposed to do? Because if you don't look at all, then you're kind of like defeating the point of the show. But if you look too early and she's like, oh, you're objectifying me, or like it makes her feel uncomfortable, then again, it's just awful. There's no easy way to play it, there really isn't. But she helped him there.
So, family values.
Ooh,
What's your relationship
topic.
like with your parents?
It's really good. It was really
Good
bad,
question.
but now it's really good.
Why was it bad?
I was a brat, honestly. I just didn't respect them or like how hard they were trying. I kind of wanted all these things that they necessarily like couldn't necessarily provide, and I was just like money wise, you know, like monetary stuff.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I want to go shopping, whatever.
Oh, that's really interesting because like I think the first stuff like being bratty is like the most forgivable thing ever. Like realistically, who wasn't a pain in the ass to their parents when they were younger? And the fact that she's like recognized that now and now has like a healthy, mature relationship with her parents, now she's an adult, it's just a good sign, it's growth. But then she mentioned money, and given he started off by being like, oh, she kind of came across as a gold digger, to then hear that she didn't have a great relationship with her parents at one point because of money and like her demands and expectation of money, probably just turned that from a really strong, solid answer to a really bad one. I wonder what he's gonna say.
Are you close with your parents?
Yes, very. More so with my mother, but that's because my dad works a lot.
Yeah.
I am very close with both. My
Fair.
dad more so because we share a lot of the same humor, and then my mother because she's just a wonderful person.
Do they know you're doing this?
My mom does. I don't think my dad does.
You didn't tell your dad?
No, I mean that's not the question you bring up to your dad. I don't think any guy would be like, "Hey, Dad, guess what I'm doing?"
Guess what I'm doing later? Looking at some boobs. That would be a hell yeah moment from your dad. This is exactly the type of thing I tell my dad I was doing. Maybe then he'd actually be proud of me. I feel like saying that I was looking at pixelated boobs in my bedroom by myself wouldn't go down quite as well.
I don't know if it's weird. I told my dad first. I was like, I told him
Really?
before I told my mom, yeah.
He's probably gonna watch.
He
this.
was like, what do you mean? You're getting naked on camera?
It's very blurred.
You're an in the moment person. Correct?
Yes, and that's something I was gonna ask you. Are you like a spontaneous person, or do you plan?
I'm very spontaneous.
Yeah.
I choose the things that I do. I choose because I feel it. And
Yeah.
if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, sure.
I actually don't think he looked down once. At least I didn't clock it. I was kind of expecting, given the round was focused on revealing a specific part of your body, that they would both kind of like speak about whether they were or weren't attracted to what they saw. Kind of like how the show Naked Attraction works in the UK. But maybe that's coming up when they get even more nakeder. 6. Oh.
He was talking about himself a lot at first. That's why I gave him a 5. And then I switched to a 6 after I saw his face because he had really nice eyes.
Okay, fair enough.
You go ahead and tell me how attracted you are.
No comment on the body, but fine. 4 still, nothing changed. Damn, this man sticks to his principles. There are plenty of weaker men that would be holding up all 10 fingers right now. Right, part 4, bear it all.
I might be uncomfortable with the hugging naked thing.
Okay.
That's fine. We don't have to, I don't want to hug either. It's okay.
All right, it's time to
That's true,
complete
actually. What?
the
All right.
I feel like that's way too intimate for a stranger.
This is so fun. Come on.
No, it's fun, but there's like.
I'm so curious how many producers and stuff there were in the room.
I am not full naked yet. I will be so in 3 seconds, and I'm full naked now.
Oh my god, he just did it.
And 3,
Fair play. Fair play to them both. I would not have the confidence for this.
High five.
High
How are you?
I am naked. How are you?
Surely they
I'm
look
so
now.
good. This is
She had a
freeing.
glance.
I like
She had a little glance.
And you just look there, stop there. Now, he can't see it.
There, that is her looking down, surely.
this is freeing. I like
little
it.
bit.
This is great.
I would prefer being by the ocean, naked.
Oh, there it is. Oh my god.
Don't gotta point it out.
Oh, I knew it was coming, but still, that is so crazy. He's been talking about how anxious he is this entire time as well. He's finally gotten naked. They've done the high five. They've started speaking normally. I feel like just at that point, it's like, okay, it's like dunking your head under the cold water. It's done. You can kind of just get used to it. The worst of it's over. And then she just points and laughs. Oh, this is so tough to watch.
Oh my god.
Don't point it out.
It says he's in love with his ex-girlfriend.
Yes, a little bit.
Just flunked me in the head.
Wait a second. When she said there it is, did she mean the tattoo or his dick?
It says he's in love with his ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
Also, flicking her in the head is crazy. What the hell is going on? Why did he just flick her in the forehead? That's a very weird response to being embarrassed. Okay, I'm glad her reaction, by the way, was at the tattoo rather than his. That would have been just so odd. That just feels like it has just instantly shifted the tone massively. How's she going to react?
You just flunked me in the head.
I did flunk you.
That's so
It's okay,
weird.
sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay, sorry.
It's okay, sorry. She does not need to be the one apologizing right there. I mean, that's quite a wild tattoo. To see that tattoo and just be like, no way, look at that, that's crazy. Bit of flirtatious mockery, it's fine. Flicking her in the head, I just don't get it. And I think she would be quite valid to just walk out there and then just be like, that was just strange.
It's quite embarrassing.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's great. You loved her.
Like, But yes, that is. How are you feeling? You feel free, correct?
Yes.
And she was being nice about the tattoo as well. Anyway, really weird segment. Let's see where this goes.
Pretty. I like the little
Thank
earrings.
you.
It matches mine a little bit.
Oh yeah, nice. They're my
Nice.
friends.
He finally complimented her. Took him quite a long time. And this is his third round of being able to see her earrings. Okay, they were kind of covered in round two. Never mind.
I don't know what to talk about now. Well, what do you believe is your biggest insecurity? Like, what do you find flaw in yourself?
And why are all of his questions very negative? Like so many of them early on were like digging out flaws, looking for red flags. The stuff with how's your parents could have gone either way. Does he not want to know like anything positive about her? Like what her type is? What's her ideal first date? Like what are her best features? Like how does she feel like she'd be a good girlfriend in a relationship? Like it's kind of strange. Like he's on this date trying to figure out if he wants to go on a second date with her. And it's like he's trying really, really hard to find any reason to not be interested.
Oof. Maybe physically, I'm really hairy. I have a lot of hair.
It's normal though.
But it's like in this day and age, all the girls are getting lasered or like I get waxed,
That's
which
normal
is
as a
great.
nice
But it's so painful. It hurts so bad.
I've heard. I've seen the screams of people.
You've seen the screams?
Yes,
Where would you have seen the screams?
You know, you go with someone to like. Past relationships. You go with them to their Brazilian wax place, and you just
Yeah. That's a nice boyfriend to go with her.
No, I do that. I'm that kind of guy.
Oh, you get waxed.
No.
She actually is like almost the exact opposite as well. Like I feel like he didn't want to bring up the relationship. He kind of just like said, "Oh, I've heard it before," and then was like, "Ah, shit, I've kind of got to bring up a past relationship," which obviously isn't ideal first date etiquette. But like rather than focusing on that, she like focused on like the positive, like, oh, that makes you a good boyfriend going along to that, you know?
I don't think I can't stomach it, but yeah.
Surely she should look down and just figure out if he gets waxed. Like, surely the answer to that question is just staring her in the face right now.
What's your biggest insecurity? Physically.
Physically?
Yeah.
Well, I have body dysmorphia.
Oh, okay.
So I often don't see myself.
Is it like diagnosed, or is that
Yeah.
can it be diagnosed?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've like your therapist or doctor was
Yes, psychologist.
Got it. Psychologist.
I've seen, I see myself in the mirror and I don't see often what I look like, despite the numerous attempts from many people giving me
positive affirmations.
Yeah, it doesn't really change too much, and I think it strives from when I was a kid, because like my brothers, and they're watching this, they love to say they used to call me fat.
They would call you fat?
And they did more so after I was like started to work out. And so when I was like fit, they would still do it. And so then that gets trapping it, because I don't know if it was like a level of competitiveness that they were doing it for. But rather than build me up, they chose to break me down.
My sister,
That
and
sucks.
she feels so bad for this, she would always call me stupid when I was younger. I worry that I am not smart.
I made a mental note of it earlier when you, because you said randomly, you were just like, oh, I'm stupid, sorry. And I was like, I was gonna stop.
See, I don't know why I do that. It's awful. It's
Well,
like,
it's you're being hard on yourself.
yeah.
Damn, this is getting so deep. I mean, maybe the whole thing about taking your clothes off really does make you subconsciously open up more. I mean, I was expecting this whole thing to just be way more positive and lighthearted. It's not necessarily a bad thing, like speaking about bad things, and they're both being quite supportive of each other's insecurities here. Like they're both being nice in response. It just feels like a lot of the questions have been very negative. I wonder if the producers like gave them these questions and were like, oh, so, you know, it's round 2, you're going to go up, you're going to ask this, you're going to ask her what her red flags are, you're going to ask her what her insecurities are. In which case, like, obviously, I'm wrong to, like, judge him for being so negative in his questions. But if these are all things that he's choosing to ask on their first date, it just, I don't know, do you not want to find all the positive things out about the other person as well?
You're used to, in your brain, you're probably thinking, oh, this is when so-and-so would say this.
Yeah.
Like, this is when your sister would say this. Oh, how did I not know that, you know?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. That could be a red flag of mine. I do like to psychoanalyze people.
Ooh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, you can actually really tell. Like, he really read into that money question very early on. And I feel like even with like minor reactions, he hasn't really given her the benefit of the doubt with anything negative she said until the insecurities, I think. So I think it's good that he recognizes that, and I hope he takes that into account when he's like drawing his conclusions at the end. Also got to give him props for doing this despite having body dysmorphia. Feeling insecure about the way your body looks and still going on a dating show where you have to get naked in front of a stranger and the internet, albeit blurred, definitely just can't have been easy for him. So fair play for being able to overcome that. Oh, I'm so curious where this is going to go.
Hug to say goodbye.
Oh, what would you prefer?
We can hug.
Okay.
Oh. Just the slight with the hug, you gotta go for the slight hips to the side. Even though they've evidently bonded enough now to be able to feel comfortable hugging, and she was the one that suggested it. I still feel like you'd be so conscious of, I don't know, whether there was any accidental poking going on down there. That hug was quite like an emotional one from him as well. He has not seemed interested the entire time, but maybe that final round changed it. And she was willing to hug him, so maybe she's interested. Or maybe she's just nice. Let's find out. Final round, second date.
Would you want to go on a second date?
Yes.
Oh,
If you
no
open
way.
the curtain and see your date would like to go on a second date with you. If not, your date has unfortunately decided that you were not a great match. So please open your curtain in 3, 2, 1.
I am so surprised, by the way, that she had said yes. I feel like she didn't necessarily like give too many indications that she didn't like him, but I definitely haven't come away from that being like there was a lot of chemistry between them and he had a lot of qualities that she definitely really liked. But fair enough. And I literally cannot call it the other way either. Oh, they were supposed to do it at the same time.
I would not go on a second date because I wouldn't want to get her hopes up.
I wouldn't want to get her hopes up. What does that mean?
And I don't think it's fair to her or me. And I do think that she said a lot of things that led to maybe she doesn't necessarily have very calm arguments.
Wait, I feel like that's kind of unfair. I mean, I don't think you would be wrong to flag it and be like, just by the way, like, you did make this joke. Can I just confirm that that was a joke? And then if she gives any indication that she does, in fact, maybe get a bit physically violent when there's an argument, completely fair. But unless there were other things that were cut out, I feel like that's a heavy conclusion to draw.
And might be more physical about it. And I don't think that's acceptable in a relationship.
And that's also a crazy thing, because he literally flicked her in the head. She laughed at him having a weird tattoo on his leg, and he flicked her in the head. I mean, not the most egregious harm you can inflict on someone, but I think she has more of a cause to worry that about him than he does for her.
She's a lovely person, and there's a lot of positive traits that I know people would love.
He didn't do his best to find them out, did he? I mean, I'm not massively surprised that he didn't open his curtain, because I think you could tell throughout that he was judging her quite harshly for a lot of things she said. But I feel like with his questions, he didn't really give her much choice a lot of the time. And I feel like a lot of the other times, she was just making conversation or making jokes or just being honest.
A little embarrassed. It's okay though, I'm fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. To be honest, I didn't feel it that much either. Like, I felt
didn't
like
think she did.
I didn't really get to say much about myself, and I didn't feel it, but I just thought I'd give it a shot.
Is that because he spoke too much, do you think? Or do you think the segments were cut too short? I mean, he did speak about his past relationships quite a lot. And there were a couple of times that he answered and just kept going on a bit. But then some of them were quite deep questions, so maybe it's hard to give like a summary answer.
He had told me that he was going to give me a ride after this, so I just thought it was a little weird. And then he was like, oh, cool your jets, cool your jets. I'm like, okay, I wasn't that excited.
And he shut her down after asking. The longer that went on, the less I liked that guy. I mean, he started off a little bit anxious, which you can forgive, and he was a little bit of an overthinker and a bit judgy himself very early on. But again, maybe you can forgive that because, like, that's literally all he had to go off. That was the only thing he knew about her. And him talking about having passions that make your life better and happy and all that kind of stuff was kind of sweet. But then as the video went on, the vibe just felt like it didn't really get any better. He just continued to be quite judgy and negative. And while she gave him the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time, I don't think he granted her the same luxury. And then to finish off, drawing such a heavy conclusion from that light-hearted comment, and then put her down after she showed gratitude for him offering her a lift. It's just not great, is it?
It was very nerve-wracking, but as the time went on, it got a lot easier and it was really fun, and I really liked it.
Well, I'm glad she had a good time, and hopefully so did you. If you did, please feel free to subscribe. It would be very much appreciated. And let me know in the comments what you thought of them both. Thanks for watching. Bye.